What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out the channel. We're going to be looking at Black Ops 7, and we're going to be talking about what I think is the best mode in the game. It is Endgame. So you get this after you complete the campaign. Well, you did. Now, starting today, anybody can jump into Endgame. And as I said, this is some of the best, most fun that I've had in a co-op Call of Duty in quite some time. So it is an extraction shooter. It's going to drop you into a large map, you and 3 other teammates. But there will also be other groups of teams out there on the same map that you can kind of raid up together with if you need to complete certain bosses. So when it's coming to overall how it's working, extraction shooter, you drop in with 1 hour time limit. You must extract before the time limit runs out. If you do not, or you die, you're going to literally lose every single thing that you worked for. So if you have an upgrade on your original gun here, you will lose that. You will lose your secondary gun here, which this would be an exotic gun. And then if you're seeing on the right hand side, my character has a combat rating of 60, which is max. If I were to die with him, I would lose that combat rating as well. So that is the most important part, guys. The combat rating gives you massive amounts of power. And then on top of that, it gives you a ton of skills that you get for your operator as well. So you can level up multiple operators. Now, the reason why you may want to do this is not only do they have certain skills that are available to certain operators that aren't to others, but on top of that, say I did die with Samuels, I lost my combat rating, I would at least be able to switch over to Mason, still have my combat rating of 60, but I would lose all my guns. So now I can go in with him and just regain my guns and then go back and try to level somebody up, because he's going to have a lot easier time gaining his guns, because as I said, the combat rating is really what gives you a ton of power throughout these missions here, and it just really helps you out even more than I would say the guns themselves. So combat rating, very important. Having probably 1 or 2 guys that are a decent combat rating would be recommended. And then, like I said, they do have some specific skills tied to the different operators as well. But when we're just going in here and we're going to look at just really what you're going to want to take and just some of the best stuff overall before we drop into a match and really talk about the missions and just how you're going to want to go through that, get yourself an exotic and different things of that nature. We'll talk about our abilities here. So when it comes to our major ability, there are 2 that I would say are standouts. If you are running solo, Crash Cart, and even in teams, Crash Cart is good, but definitely solo, Crash Cart is going to give you a free revive. As I said, if you die, definitely in solo, if you die once, you know, on your own without a self-revive kit, you are going to die and lose all of your stuff. So Crash Cart could be very important for somebody running solo or just somebody who is having issues dying in general. But overall, I think the best one is going to be Ballistic Shell here. Not only does it give you extremely good defense, guys, because you just drop this and it gives you a dome around you, not even melee enemies can get through it. It's also going to block all ranged attacks, and you can fire outside of it. So it gives you a ton of offense and a ton of defense, and I think it does beat out every single other major skill here. But you're going to want to try them all. They're all fun. War Machine strong, hand cannon is strong, but I think Ballistic Shell, just for how it helps you and your team, is extremely powerful. And then when you're looking at your minor ability, a few of them are good, but what you what you really want here is something that's going to get you into the air so you can go into your wingsuit. Extremely important for traversal and just getting throughout the map. The map's pretty big. If you're not, you know, taking advantage of your wingsuit, when you do this properly, you can make the map actually feel pretty small in general because you can really fly around there. You're going to want grappling hook or kinetic jump. Personally, I like grappling hook, but kinetic jump can get you into your wingsuit a little faster than the grappling hook, I would say, because you can run out of like trees around you. You can just be in a big open area and grappling hook won't work as good. Will kinetic jump will still get you into that wingsuit. I just feel like grappling hook overall, it gives me the ability to get in my wingsuit, but it also gives me the ability to really traverse around the map and strategically set myself up against enemies better, a little more like pinpoint accuracy type stuff with the grappling hook compared to kinetic jump. But both of them are good, both of them are important, and I would say those are the 2 that you're really going to want to take when it comes to your minor ability, so you can move around the map. And then when we're looking at our skills here, these you're just going to naturally level up as you are gaining combat rating. You're going to pick and choose which ones you want, but you'll end up filling them all up in the end anyway. So you'll kind of fill them up depending on how fast you want to fill up a certain one, but you'll get them all in the end. And as I said, I would say like 85% of these skills are the same for all the operators, but then there's a 15% that you're going to have some different ones tied to different operators. Now I have 3 operators that are up 2 max level and 1 over half, and all 3 of them have different skills tied to them. So it could be coincidence that I just got lucky and I picked 3 different guys that had different ones, but you know, it's safe to assume that a lot of people are going to have different skills tied to each one of them. Like he has tackle, and then there's going to be other classes that don't have tackle, and they may have like their wingsuit flies longer, or just different things like that. And then he also has shocking reload, which is a cool one. So every time you reload, that you emit like a shocking radius around you. So, you know, each person's going to have some different ones. Those are nice, but as I said, just going through your combat rating, guys, is just going to level what you have available all the way to max by the time you hit 60. When we're talking about our weapons, so you can upgrade this through, we'll talk about that kind of when we land on the map. This is upgradable, and then your exotic weapons is very important to try to get your hands on one of these exotics. And how these work is you can only have one exotic at a time. So say I just dropped in, I had this exotic shotgun, and then I picked up, I found an exotic AR or something, then I would have that exotic AR when I exfilled, and I would not have access to this shotgun anymore. So that is very important as well, that you keep your eyes on what you're taking with your exotic weapons, and we will get into exactly how you can pick those up and everything like that. So yeah, I think we'll just go from here, and we'll kind of land into a map, and then we'll discuss kind of some techniques you can use to kind of level up a little faster, even get your camos if you want to do that in this mode, and just overall talk about some of the ways you can get some of the better stuff when it comes to endgame. All right, now we are down here on Avalon. That's what they're calling this map. This is how big it is. It is a decent size, guys. You're going to have 4 different zones. As you're seeing right here, to the right here is zone 1, which is the easiest content. Zone 2 is yellow. This like lightly red tinted orange on the outside here. I don't know why they didn't change this like blue or something, but this is zone 3. And then you have the red, which is zone 4. So zone 4, obviously the hardest content when it comes to the end game here. But when you're first dropping down, what you are doing, you're dropping into zone 1 here, and you're going to start doing the mission. So you can kind of think of the blue as main missions, and then the green is more like side missions, and they're going to be done a little quicker than the blue ones here, but you probably won't get quite as good as loot and obviously combat rating power and stuff like that. The power that you're seeing over here to the right, that is going into your combat rating, and your combat rating is working up from that, and as well as just killing enemies is going to also level your class or your operator there. So zone 1 and 2 is what you're starting in. Now you can look for upgrades. You see these right here? No, where is it at? Yeah, they're going to look like this. They're called jailbreak workbenches. So this is one right here, jailbreak workbench. This will upgrade your primary weapon. So if you're kind of working on a camo for a weapon, you're going to want to get that upgraded to as high as you can for whatever combat rating you're at and whatever you can handle. So if you get your chance, you're going to want to get it to blue, because this is going to add like a multiplier onto that weapon until you switch off your primary weapon. So that's why I'm saying if you're working a camo or you're trying to prestige a certain weapon, you're going to want to use the workbenches, get it up to legendary here eventually, and then you can really, you know, it's going to just rip through everything a lot faster and be a lot more powerful in the game. So do the workout or do the workbenches. Definitely try to find those until you get your upgrades as high as you can. And then overall, you're just really doing missions, guys. You're going in here, doing as many missions as you can within the hour. Always keeping an eye on the top left, because that is your time limit. And that is where you have to find one of these yellow escape extraction points. So the extraction points, there is a fight to get out. So you're not just going to go to it and fly out. You have to call down the ship. And then there's going to be some resistance that you're going to have to fight off before they can actually land. So whatever zone you call for extraction in is going to decide how strong that fight is. And they do get pretty difficult. So if you're not really high combat rating, you're not going to want to call extraction in like zone 3 or 4, because the fight is going to be pretty tough and you may not survive it. Even with the full group, because they have a ton of hit points, guys. It's depending how good your group is, honestly. So make sure you're mindful of where you're calling your extraction point and that you can actually escape in the zone that you're at. And then obviously if you know how we discussed earlier, if you have kinetic jump and you also have or grapple, you're going to be able to just get to your wingsuit basically when you want, and that's going to be very, very important. So when we're talking about if you're just looking to like prestige, get some weapon camos and things like that, there are a couple spots. Even your combat rating, you can work pretty fast at these spots, and it's going to be these quad core sights. So we'll kind of go to this. Oh, there's somebody there, so he might mess that one up. Let's see if we can find a different one. Oh, right here. Yeah, okay. So there, as you see, there's a good amount of them on the map, honestly. This one's kind of far though. So we'll go to this one, the quad core sights. Now what this does is you're going to start the mission, but it'll continue. Then something will like discharge and you'll have to reset it. And then you don't reset it and you just let enemies continuously come at you. So if you do that, that's going to give you a ton of critical kills towards your weapon camos. It's going to just level you up extremely fast because you're just going to be killing so many enemies. It seems like you can pretty much do this in any zone to a pretty good result. It even gives you a decent amount of combat rating, so you're actually going to level up while you're doing this as well. So let's get over here so we can stop talking about it. We're almost there. And that's what I was saying with kinetic jump. Like if I had kinetic jump right now, I could have been here faster. Alright, so it's this guy right here. What you want to do... Oh, is it already started? Oh, it looks like somebody already started it. Yeah, which is perfect, but nobody's here. So you would go under here and you would hit X, and then it's going to start this event, and then these guys are going to continuously come at you until you reset it and get it to 100%. He should break down here again. He might be broken down already. Yeah, I could hit it right now. So don't hit X and just let these guys continuously come at you. And this is definitely one of the best ways I found. If you have some XP tokens, throw on some XP tokens with your weapon, with your class, or with, you know, with your prestige, and you're going to be good. You're going to go through this extremely fast. You can definitely get your camos really quick. Just aim for headshots, guys. And yeah, it's very easy to get them on these zombies. Right when you find that sweet spot in the center of your screen, you know, it's just very easy. So yeah, this is one of the better ways. Like, and you get a lot of combat rating doing this as well. So you can always look for these. It seems like it doesn't really matter what zone you're doing it in, but it could be possible that it's better in zone 3, possibly more enemies even. I can't remember. I've done them in all the zones, obviously, but I can't remember if it was actually more enemies. It honestly feels almost the same. And yeah, like if I had an XP token on right now, my gun would be going crazy. I would be getting a ton of experience for my gun. So this is one of the better ways to get camo. See right there, my weapon, I just leveled it. And they won't stop. I don't think that I could probably sit here and do this for this whole like 30 minutes and then just extract. So weapon camos, prestiging, this is one of the easiest ways to do it, and also just getting your combat rating isn't too bad this way as well. So this is tedious though, guys. This isn't like something I recommend, but if you're just looking to, like, you don't like the weapon you're using but you need to camo it or whatever, this is the way you're going to want to do it, guys, just so you can get it out of the way. So that's what I'm saying. If it's a gun that you like and you enjoy playing, just do it the old-fashioned way and just go in here and do the missions, guys, because it's just more fun that way. But that is one of the ways to really get some camos on guns you don't enjoy camoing up. So that is the quad core sight, and experience all around, guys. It's going to give you experience everywhere. And then your teammates are probably going to be out here getting experience for you. You're getting experience. So it's, yeah, you get a lot. Yeah, so I guess we can extract. But remember, guys, workbench, you're going to want it. Well, you know what? We can hit up one of these workbenches right here just to show you how it works overall. Let's go to the workbench. Because I don't even think I have this gun. Yeah, I don't have anything on this gun right now, because once you switch your gun, you lose this workbench upgrade on it. So what you want to do is right when you switch to a new gun you're using, you want to get it to upgrade as high as you can, and then use it for as long until you get it upgraded to where you're satisfied, and then move on to your next weapon, and then do the same thing, workbench, upgrade that one. the same way. As you see, somebody already cleared all this out. So, you know, you just look at your map because you might just get lucky. And as you see, it's about to add 1.5 damage onto my gun right here. So now this gun is going to hit 1.5 damage stronger throughout this mission and all my missions after this until I switch my primary gun. Now, when I switch my primary gun, I'm going to lose the upgrade on this AK that I just put on it. So that's how those upgrades work, and they are essential. They're good. They're going to make your gun feel more like an exotic gun because you're going to get all kinds of damage buffs on it. All right, so let's extract. We'll kind of show you how this works. We're in zone 2, so this is not going to be like too difficult of extraction. Now, if I was like level combat rating 0, this would be a very difficult extraction. I wouldn't be able to do this because I wouldn't have so many damage multipliers tied to my combat rating. But overall, guys, and definitely if you got a group to play this with, like a group of buddies to play this with, I think this is one of the funnest options that you have right now in Black Ops. Obviously, you have multiplayer, that's all the same. The zombies is really fleshed out. The part of zombies I'm going to play is that they have a top-down shooter where it's like Smash TV. That's the zombies I'm going to beat. And if it's really good, I'll make a video on that and let you guys know if it's worth running through and if there's anything I find about that. Those are usually pretty challenging too, those twin stick shooters. So it's just a top-down version. Like I said, just like Smash TV, guys. So that's in the zombie mode. It's the zombie arcade mode. But that's what I'm going to try out after this. I do highly recommend, like, since you can just jump into this now, you don't even have to play the campaign to go through this. You're gonna wanna play this, guys. It's a lot of fun. And just the only thing is, if you're a casual gamer, I think you're even gonna have more fun with this because you're not gonna run through it as fast. If you're a hardcore gamer, you're gonna run out of content kind of quick. You know what I'm saying? There's like probably, I don't know, you can get a real good 25 hours on it, 30 hours, and have a blast until you're really repeating, like, you know, too many things. But for hardcore gamers, they're gonna run out of content pretty fast. But I'm hoping that this part of the game gets a lot of love, guys, because it's the best that that a co-op game has been in Call of Duty for a while. I mean, DMZ was good and stuff, but it was, you know, nobody played it, and I think that may happen to this as well. So I really hope it doesn't. Endgame does deserve to go further on because it's just a good mode. So, you know, I think you guys should check it out. Use some of these strategies I showed you. You'll have a great time. If you have groups of buddies to play it with, get into that. I'm playing on Game Pass. I didn't buy Call of Duty or anything, so don't think that. But if you have Game Pass, 100% check this mode out, guys. Okay, let's quickly get into how you're going to be picking up your exotic weapons here. So there is going to be one mission on the map that is 100% guaranteed you're going to get an exotic weapon, and then there's going to be multiple missions in Zone 4, and that's the only zone you can find an exotic in where you have a chance to get one. So, like, let me find somewhere to land where I can be safe for 1 second. Maybe? Alright, so Zone 4. You're going to want to go through all these and look for... where? I just seen one. Right here. As you're seeing on the right, on the bottom, it has exotic weapon chance. So there's going to be multiple ones in Zone 4 missions that have exotic weapon chances. You're going to want to do those. Those are the easiest ones to do to get an exotic. They're still difficult, but if you have a team that can carry you or you're high enough level, you can do them yourself. And then you're going to have right here, listening post, that is the final boss. So this right here at the bottom, this is the final boss. If you ever see a lot of blue dots down there, you're going to want to just head down there and try to get this done. It's going to give you a guaranteed exotic, and then on top of that, it's also going to give you a an extract. So you can extract from right there, get your exotic, and then extract, basically. So that's how them are the only two ways that I have found so far that you can get them. Zone 4 missions, you can have a chance to get them, and then that final mission gives you a guaranteed exotic weapon. So basically how they're going to work, you can only have one exotic weapon at a time, and you can only extract with one exotic weapon. So whatever one you pick up and you have in your inventory when you extract, that is what you're going to be stuck with when you start your next missions. But, you know, I highly suggest go through a bunch of them. because a lot of them are honestly a lot of fun. So you're gonna want to try them out. I mean, obviously some are better than other guys. I like the LMGs. So it's gonna be kind of dependent on what type of weapon you want, and then you're really gonna want to tie whatever buff you like the best. So they're gonna have freezing rounds, electricity rounds, incinerary rounds. What else do they have? They have like a vortex that just like sucks the enemies into it and then drops them down. They have one where you can turn the enemies into your allies and they will fight with you. So there's a bunch of different buffs that are added onto these exotic weapons. And from what I've seen, each weapon can come with multiple different buffs on it. So you don't really know what you're going to get. You're just going to really look for that one that really suits up your playstyle. Right there, you've seen the vortex. It sucks them into the vortex and then just throws them down from like super high up. And then it kills most things and does a ton of damage. So definitely get your hands on the exotic weapons as soon as you can, basically, is what you want to try to do. If you get lucky enough, you might find you might land with a group that's really going to carry you through. I got lucky enough when I was pretty low level, because you kind of want to get it by the time you're like 20, and then it kind of helps you, definitely if you're going on to other characters and trying to work them up, having that will be good. But they're going to be stronger the higher combat rating you have. So if I had this exotic weapon on a character that had very low combat rating, it would still be very good and it would still give me the buffs that it has. But overall, it wouldn't hit for as much damage because your combat rating really ties to your weapon damage as well. It's going to give you all kinds of multipliers added onto it. So yeah, that's basically it when it comes to the exotic weapons. Get your hands on one right when you do. Just extract, and then you can kind of play the game how you want. Put a good primary weapon in that you want to work up in prestige and get some camos for, and then you'll always have that exotic weapon until you come across another one that you like better, or you unfortunately like die or something. Just be careful, guys, because I've honestly lost my stuff for inactivity, and I was literally just looking at the map. So I was just going through in here, and I guess my character was probably standing in one spot too long, and I got booted, and it was not long. I'm talking like 2 minutes maybe. So be careful with that, because you will lose everything. Even if you go like AFK, you get inactivity, anything like that, you're going to lose all of your stuff. So just be careful for that. But yeah, get yourself an exotic weapon. They are definitely the best. They're the most fun to use in the game, guys. They have so many different buffs tied to them. They're really fun. So that is your easiest way to get them. Get to zone 4, and then obviously keep your eyes down here. If you ever see a huge group of people down here, or you just see a lot of people talking in the chat, talking about wanting to do the final boss, get yourself in on that, and then you will get a guaranteed exotic weapon. So hopefully this helps a little bit, guys, and I will catch you on the next video.
Heads up, you've got company at the LZ. Zone's clear. VTOL touching down.